Morning to you. This is Kakaaki Social Amrena Obozeghie. Now, a former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, has demanded an investigation into the budget padding claims that led to the suspension of Senator Abdul Ningi. Atiku, on his verified X handle, says the action has only fueled the crisis, leaving more questions than answers. And in his words, we're going to take two slides from that. He says denials are unacceptable and the suspension of one senator cannot silence accusations of corruption and illegal fiscal spending by the federal government. Without a clear explanation to the people of Nigeria, we must treat these allegations for what they are, outright fraud. And then he says the current federal government has a disgraceful track record of ignoring issues of transparency and due process in public administration. The unresolved $3.3 billion NNPCL Limited loan repayment scandal, with Nigeria now expected to repay $12 billion, remains a glaring example. The Tinubu administration must address these high-profile corruption cases transparently. Okay, Abdulaziz says they are only preparing for 2027. They need money to rig their way to victory come 2027, as long as Nigerians would vote for the most competent, experienced and prepared candidate. We can only cry on media, but nothing will change. More thought is coming from Rotimi, who says, can the senator from opposition party be mobilized to unravel this anomaly? If they don't, they are not any different from the ruling party then. But that means we, the masses, are in a one-chance boss. I don't think this is a party thing, as we have mute them than a party in the Senate. But referring to Atiku is Kudus from the APC, who says, Alhaji Waziri, we also know how you sold Nigerian properties, sir. It is in Obasanjo's book, page 78. Someone actually said paragraph 4, line 2, but I do not have that book, so we move away from that. The FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, says everyone has to be available to carry their cross in politics, insisting that he's still a member of the main opposition political party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP. At a media chat in Abuja on Thursday, he also spoke on the fallout between himself and his successor, Sim Fubara. Wike says the River State governor is only leaving the agreement they had at the presidential villa on the surface, while blaming insecurity in FCT on lack of tracking devices by the police and the DSS.
As far as I'm concerned, the lawmakers have respected Mr. President. When that agreement was reached, it didn't take them 24 hours. They would do the impeachment notice. What is the point that you brought commissioners? Are they working? Forget about these people who are gallivanting today, moving around, so that they can now serve master and serve boy. Now they are serving boy on the road now.
Okay, which party do you belong to?
I'm a member of People's Democratic Party. Have you ever seen me change any day? When you see, I don't know why this.
You are not interested in the elections in Edo, whether your party wins or not?
The one I supported before, now what happened? Everybody carry a
cross.
Who violated the party's constitution? Who violated? Who should be disciplined?
All right, let's bring you in at this point. Diamond on X says, looks like they didn't welcome him in APC. Can't be trusted over there. Now he's running back to PDP. Did he ever leave? Ade Joro says, I'm still puzzled by PDP's reluctance. While I grasp Wike's influence over opposition state and their finances, allowing him to remain until 2027 risk undermining all our progress once more. Let's remove him now and revamp and reorganize the party while we still have the time and chance. Also in reaction, Is Sixth also says, if you look at it critically, Sentiment apart, Wike is right with his decision to serve under APC because PDP wanted to render him jobless by considering Atiku over him or Obi. A northerner is leaving office after 8 years and you want to elect another northerner immediately. Who does that? More thought from Ken Musa will be that, but the police PPRO said they can track anybody within 24 hours who commit any crime in Nigeria. So which device do they lack? That's referring to the comment that the insecurity in Abuja is caused by lack of tracking devices by the police and the DSS. Quote by Wike yesterday at his media chat. But let's have our final story for the week. The defense headquarters in Abuja here says the Kaduna abduction of internally displaced persons wouldn't have happened if they were notified early enough. The DHQ Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Buba Edward, while speaking to journalists in Abuja on Thursday, says the IDPs had gone beyond the permissible distance without informing their camp managers in search of firewoods. However, he adds that that would not deter them from ensuring their safe return.
Afterwards, preliminary investigation revealed that the internally displaced persons left camp to undisclosed locations to fetch firewood, which was beyond the permissible distance approved of 5 to 7 kilometers from their camp. Now, these internally displaced persons did not notify the camp authorities of their movement. It was later that same night, at about 20-30 hours at night, when the IDPs did not return to camp, that alarm was raised as to the possible abduction by terrorists. It was at this stage that troops were notified of the incident. The standard practice was for troops to be notified prior to any movement of the internally displaced persons beyond permissible distance of 5 to 7 kilometers from their camp. Now, these terrorists abducted 112 of the internally displaced persons in the process. Nevertheless, effort is ongoing to get back these hostages, and like I mentioned earlier, we will not rest until every single one of them gets back.
All right, let's see how this went down on X yesterday. Adewale says, till now, no one has told us who ordered all men out of the checkpoint some hours before the Chibok girls were kidnapped. I'm waiting for when we will all stop deceiving ourselves over security issues. Also, Chibweze, who do us? How did we end up at APC hands? The defense headquarters is at Kaduna, so you be taught to do intelligence security in 21st century. Who would wonder that inside defense headquarters there was kidnapping and banditry incident? That was quite a sad one there. Daniel Boala said a low-key Daniel Boala, so not the one you know. He says, what if this abduction was faked to give a semblance of performance to this government? Yeah, when they wake up tomorrow and claim all have been rescued to their credit, you think it's impossible? Because I can never understand how 100s of pupils can be whisked away without a trace. And more thought from this user, Brain Gain, it says, but what happened to intelligence or security intelligence generally? The whole security agencies with their security apparatus, it's surprising as these criminals are able to operate unhindered. Well, quite a long day on the space of social media, but we'll leave it at this today to say thank you so much for being a part of it this week. If you may reach out to us, our WhatsApp number is 0811543670. I'll see you on Monday.
Rene, thank you so much for all those developments. Nigerians are really talking. It's not a time again in the country where you say you can just do something and get away with it. They will demand, they will ask questions.
True.
You know.
And I think the key question, I think that was very relevant. How can over 200 pupils be whisked away and absolutely no trace, no pathway, and then intelligence comes up again.
Well, they are blaming it on the abductees now to say that it was their fault. There is a distance permissible without notice, but they went beyond that.
Are they aware of that distance? Were they duly informed? Did they know where to get to and where not to get to? That's another question. Because nobody who has been displaced from his home or her home would want to go to a place again that is not safe. So how is the communication there? Were they told that if you must fetch firewood, please don't go beyond a certain area? So I don't know.
And if they were providing for them adequately as well, you know, they
would have a need to even
be going to look for firewood.
Absolutely.
And in that large number.
It's unheard of.
Like they had a party or something.